up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We are still here at CES. I feel like we've been sleeping at the convention center, and you know what? We could not leave without bringing you this vehicle right here. This is it. This is that all-new, world-debuted Peugeot Inception EV. But before we get into this sleek four-seater of an EV sedan, let's talk about what's going on here. Peugeot, that famous French brand. It's been a while since they've sold a vehicle here in the United States, so it's kind of interesting that they would choose CES to launch this vehicle. But because of what CES brings to the world when it comes to electronics and technology, with this vehicle, we're talking about that Peugeot punch of electronics and technology. Now, Peugeot has a real rich history, not only in building certain vehicles for the road, but also, of course, for the racetrack. They have won that coveted 24 Hours of Le Mans with their Peugeot prototype cars over the years, and they're making a comeback with the new rules in WEC and for the 24 Hours of Le Mans. So expect possibly a Peugeot in the winner's circle very, very soon, especially in this year, 2023. But now we're talking about, well, where does Peugeot go with the future of their automobiles for the street? And that's where this Inception comes into play. So what I want to find out is this going to be the car to buy of the future? That performance and luxury sedan of the future that you should be planning and getting things lined up, your ducks in a row to maybe have one day? Let's go ahead, let's dive into this Peugeot Inception and find out. Now, right off the bat, the style, very, very sleek, very angular. And I'm actually seeing a lot of style coming from Peugeot's 1970s and 1980s cars. One of the areas where you find that is with that long frontal area, long slope frontal area. That actually ties in back to their vehicles of the 70s and the 80s. As we come around, what are we seeing? We're actually seeing style that you could find from that Peugeot race car that I was telling you about. One of the things you'll notice with the LED lighting, these will illuminate individually to be the lion's claw, the cat's claw that is a traditional symbol of Peugeot. We come across the front, you'll notice, like I was saying, that nice angular front, that front splitter extending out. This is all reinforced carbon fiber. Love the way you have that separate splitter with the design built into the lower portion, and then there's that badge, the mighty lion of Peugeot. So much history, and then really nicely done with how they did from one side to the other, all encased LED lighting. So all of this will have a signature light display that illuminates as you approach the vehicle, and that's something, like I say, that electric vehicles create personality based off of the lighting. Now, this will be a dual motor setup, and one of the biggest things that they're talking about is that within 5 minutes, you can charge up to 100 miles of range. When this happens, that would be revolutionary to the auto industry. Now, you'll notice how they kept it real simple, Peugeot Inception, with the graphics on the front mounted trunk area. And then as we rise up, check out that driving cab. The way they took the one-piece glass that extends down. I'm gonna have Lori kind of swing around and jump in to show the area, the frontal area here, with how they've done all of the aerodynamics and whatnot. Very unique, something definitely French inspired, you could see. And then as I come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. Check out this absolutely ginormous setup here. So very unique wheel design with the black accents, the silver, that carbon fiber. Look at the way they have the actual engravings in it, that hyper aero wheel. This is a 22-inch wheel, and the whole idea behind this wheel is not only for style, but also for generating the air. You'll notice the massive carbon ceramic brake rotor behind there. Look at how they did the caliper setup. You're gonna have regen braking, of course, to help extend that range. But definitely, these are the types of things at CES that you dream about one day showing up on the vehicle that you're gonna be buying down the road. But definitely the way they did the front hood as it acts as the fender and with the wheel placement, spot on. And then there's that mighty lion, like I said, the Peugeot Lion. Now, as we continue down the side, I'm actually gonna have Lori hop back on up because it really is gonna allow her to showcase the cameras. No side mirrors. You have these super slick add-ons with cameras that are gonna be your side mirrors. And then, like I said, the way the glass, one piece here, slopes down and then comes up onto your glass roof, really brings a nice open air feel to this four-door sedan setup. It's a four-seater. You'll notice the steering wheel, very unique kind of rectangle shape. It's meant to kind of simulate a video game controller, believe it or not. So that's the idea with this Inception. And this isn't about having a dream within a dream within a dream with Leonardo DiCaprio chasing after you. This is about bringing the technology and that French flair. Now, when we talk about flair, look at this flare side fender area, how it extends off the car. This really allows you to see how concave this center area is where the doors kind of meet. And then you'll notice that extension there, all for aerodynamic efficiency. I love the way it's got the Peugeot name deep within it. And then coming towards the rear, I absolutely am in love with the way that the rear flares into that back area of the vehicle. But you can see the dimensions. Looks like a two-door, it's actually a four-door with that low glass roof design. Look at the way they use, and this is what I was talking about, how Peugeot is getting back into world endurance racing with their prototypes. This is where we see that aero work with the extension coming off the back of the car, because not only is it about battery size, battery usage, but it's also about aerodynamic efficiency. The freaking sexiness of that rear door coming into the fender is just absolutely phenomenal. Really did a great job. 295 on the width of the rear tires wrapped around those 22-inch wheels. Love the way they did that center cap there with the logo design. And then as we come around the back, then we kind of finish off just like where we started. So you have that nice glass panoramic one piece coming into the rear. You'll notice our LED lighting that we have, how everything has that angle. And then just like up front, you have the claw. You see the 1, 2, 3? Those are gonna be your tail lights, the lion's claw, the cat's claw. Down below, you have full functionality in that lower bumper area. And then coming towards the rear, this is something that only a French car company could do. Absolutely stunning with how you see the width and all the aerodynamic devices that are been added to this vehicle for that supreme efficiency. But it's going to be very interesting to see where Peugeot, as not only a car company, but also with this electrification, where are they going to go? Are they going to continue to wow us with this unique flair and style? And is it possible that maybe one day Peugeot might return to the United States? But like I said, big year to watch. When does it happen? In the month of June, the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Peugeot will be there with a couple cars in that top prototype class to bring home the coveted trophy after the clock makes a full rotation. And then remember, with those prototypes, they are using electrification, a type of electrification with the hybrid setup. This obviously being a full EV, it'll be fascinating to see what kind of power numbers. Could you imagine this car with 1,000 horsepower? And with this style, I mean, that's something that I think many people would like to have in their driveway and drive on a regular basis. But it's things like this that we like to see at CES. You know, look at as we come down that style. Really well done. And this is something that you're only gonna see here. It had its world debut here in Las Vegas just yesterday. And just like we like to do here on Raiti's Rides, we bring it to you from CES, from the convention center, especially trying to show you all the angles and what this car brings. Because if you look closely, it's got a lot of detail to it. But let me know what you think down in the comment section. Would you want to see Peugeot come back to the United States if they're designing stuff like this? Or does this make you excited for electrification? Maybe you were on the fence. Maybe you didn't want anything to do with electrification. Does this kind of make you a little bit more excited? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rides family. Of course, we can't do it without the muscle behind the lens. Lori working that camera like a champ. Show her some love in the comment section. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.